Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is me, the one and only Chef Couture, here on this Sunday evening, Sunday, November the 10th, 2024. How are you doing? I am absolutely amazing. We had just a little bit of some technical difficulties, but we are here. We've got everything going. So let's get started, shall we? This is Chef's Kiss. Oh, yes, Chef Couture's Kiss, keeping it super simple. That's what it is, keeping it super simple. So we are in November. The holiday season is upon us, and it is time to start identifying some little bitty treats that you can serve to your family and your friends and your guests over the holiday season. So, what I am going to share with you this evening is really simple but amazing, full of flavor. And we're going to do this in less than 30 minutes. So we are going to do one of my favorite appetizers. This is a smoked salmon dip. And I am going to add some shrimp to it this time. So I've got this shrimp already seasoned. I used a little bit of Cajun seasoning along with the Love My Everything feisty seasoning. And with that feisty, it's got a little bit of a smoky heat to it, along with the same on the salmon. Now, what we're going to do is once we cook these, we're going to use one of my little favorite gadgets, my smoker. And with the smoker, so because I said it is a smoked salmon, we're going to use this device to put that smoked flavor into the salmon along with the shrimp. If you don't have one of these, no big deal. There are a couple of alternatives that you can use, and I'll share those with you once we get started with that. So what we're going to do, I got my cast iron griddle over here. This is a stovetop griddle. It covers two eyes, so we're going to get both of the eyes going. I'm going to drizzle some oil on there. I'm going to go with a avocado oil this time. When I'm using heat, I'm either going to go with avocado oil or grapeseed oil because they both have a high heat content to them. And that will allow for the smoke to be able to tolerate the smoke. So let's get started over here, shall we? Do that. We're going to keep this on a little bit of like a medium high. I put them on the number 5 setting so that we can go ahead and get that heat going. We will drizzle the avocado oil over both of the areas of the eye. And then we'll also put some coating just in the middle as well. And we will allow that heat to get going. Once that's done, we will go ahead and add both the shrimp and the salmon. We'll start with the salmon first. We're going to start with the salmon skin side down. We'll allow that to cook for about 4 minutes. We will flip it over, and then we will allow it to cook another 4 minutes. Now, I like to prepare my salmon at a medium temperature, and especially because we are making this smoked salmon and shrimp dip, we definitely don't want to overcook that salmon. Now, for those of you who are kind of shy about getting in the kitchen, or if you're in a hurry, you can already purchase your smoked salmon. Now there is the raw smoked salmon, and then there's the cooked smoked salmon. Either one works. Tonight, we're going to go with the salmon that we are going to prepare together, and then we'll add the shrimp. Now, the shrimp is not going to take as long, so we won't add the shrimp to the mix until we flip that salmon over. Now, while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and get started with the mixture for the dip. Once the dip is the content, we're going to go with a cream cheese, sour cream, mayo. We've got some capers. We're going to use a little bit of the chipotle pepper with the adobo. We will fold the dill part in last. We're going to add some lemon along with some diced red onions. So once we incorporate that all together, then we will fold in both the salmon and the shrimp, and you can add those with pita chips, or you can add them with some naan, or you can make your own. Get you some potatoes, make you some homemade potato chips. There's so many different things that you can add to use as a vessel for your smoked salmon dip. It's amazing. So we're going to allow this to continue to heat. And while that's heating, let's go ahead and get those onions diced up. Let's move this out of the way. Well, actually, here. So this is a smoker. And with this, it's a smoking gun. It comes with a dome. And there you can purchase different types of wood chips to go into this. This one is a hickory smoke. I'm just going to go ahead and get this ready to go so that when it's time to smoke both the shrimp and the salmon, we've got that ready. All right, so we'll set this to the side. Put this back to the back. And we'll grab our cutting board so that we can get started dicing up our onions. We will take our shrimp and our salmon and we'll place those in the rear. All right, let's get started. So one of the ways that I like to cut my onion, cut the top and the bottom off, slice it in half, set one of the halves to the side, and we'll just go ahead and peel that skin layer off. Set that over to the side, and you can kind of identify if another layer needs to come off. Now, you want to make sure that you have a very, very sharp knife, because what we're going to do is slice it and then we're going to go horizontally across the onion. That way, when we go to dice, everything is nice and even. And voila, your onion is finished. So we'll just set this to the side. I hear the oil over here on the griddle. It's already ready to go. So let's add the salmon skin side down. And the reason why you want to add, one, remember, when you are preparing your salmon, when you go, whether you're going to the grocery store or to a butcher, make sure that you're purchasing your salmon with the skin on. The skin is where all of your nutrients and your vitamins are. So as it's cooking, Those are cooking into your salmon. And then it's really, really super easy to remove it at the end. And if you have a dog and you want to make sure that its coat is nice and shiny, you can give your dog this salmon skin and it's going to make a beautiful coat for your four-legged friend. So we will add the salmon to the griddle. Just a little bit. And let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and add the shrimp because we have that eye going already and we've already added the oil. And when it's ready to go, we'll just go ahead and remove it. It will be finished, of course, before the salmon. But since it's seasoned already, let's go ahead and add that to the grill. And you just want to make sure that your shrimp are separated. We'll turn that down, ensuring that your shrimp are going to cook evenly on all sides. Now that we've got the onion diced, move that out of our way. We're going to take our little dicer or processor. This is one of my absolute favorites, is the Ninja. And we are going to take just a couple of the chipotle peppers. I'm just going to do two. And I want to get just a little bit of that sauce in there. Now we will take cream cheese. And we're going to go ahead and add the full 8 ounce. And you want to make sure that you get the, you can get the one that comes in the container. I would not use the whip because you're going to blend it. But you do want to make sure it's softened. And you're going to add some mayo. You're going to add anywhere from a quarter cup to half a cup of mayo, depending on the amount of dip that you are preparing. So we're going to start out with about a quarter cup. I'm just going to squeeze it in there, eyeball it a little bit. Same for the sour cream. I'll wipe that adobo sauce off. And we're going to allow this to blend together. But before we do that, let's turn our shrimp over. Your shrimp only needs about 90 seconds per side, depending on the size. I'm going to turn that down. And we just want to cook them until they're no longer translucent. All right. Now we are going to take our lemon, squeeze it into this goodness over here. It's got a lot of juice. That's going to be really, really good. Making sure that we don't allow those seeds to fall into it. Put the lid on here. We're just going to blend it out. And then we will place that in the bowl. We'll fold in the onions. We will fold in the shrimp. We'll fold in the dill. We'll fold in the capers. What we don't want to do is put all of that into the blender because you don't want to. You want the capers to maintain its texture and the fullness of it. So you won't blend that up. If you have someone and they're not fond of onions, you can blend the onions up during that process as well. But I like onions, so I'm going to keep my onions whole the way they are. Let's go ahead and remove the shrimp. Then turn that heat off on the back eye. And then we're going to flip that salmon over. Run away, shrimp. Let those cool off. Set that to the side as well. That's so good. That adobo and that lemon, amazing. What did we just do with our bowl? Put the shrimp in there. So we're going to take some of this mixture out. This is really good. Add some onions to it. Mix it up. We're going to grab a couple of shrimp. They've got that nice golden color to it. It's so good. Oh, so good. Now, that was really, really, really good. Both the shrimp and the salmon were seasoned with a Cajun seasoning. And we added some of the Love My Everything Feisty. So that smoky heat to it. All right. And you can check your salmon by seeing how much bounce it has to it. I say more bounce to the ounce, right? I still want this to cook just a little bit. You know what? We're going to turn the eye off and we're going to allow it to finish cooking with that natural heat. And while that's happening, I'm going to set this to the side because when I remove that salmon from that heat, we're going to place it on the board and we're going to get that smoke into it. We'll remove the skin. I'm going to set it in here with the shrimp. And we're going to right here in the face. We'll take our salmon. Put the dough on top. And then we will get our flame going here. So you're gonna go ahead and light those wood chips. And while it's doing that, it's going to start releasing the smoke into the salmon. I will allow that to smoke a little bit longer, then we'll turn it off. But we're going to let that dome sit on top so that that smoke can seep into that salmon. You should smell it. It smells amazing. It smells absolutely amazing. So we will go ahead and let's do a countdown, shall we? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Voila! So go ahead and set that smoker to the side. We're going to bring our dip back over. We're going to take a piece of salmon that has been smoked. And we will just gently break it up. And we will fold it. Ooh, this looks amazing. I think I want to add some more of this goodness. We're still going to just fold it in. And then we'll add our dill and our capers. And the reason why you want to fold it is you don't want to over manipulate that salmon. You want nice chunks of that smoked dip. Get some papers. Get it open. Okay. I like capers. It's got that saltiness to it. Fold it in. Let's set this over here. I'm going to move this out of the way. So over here. Bring our little ladder over. I dip. Place it gently on the plate. And we'll just top it with the dill. A lot of people don't like dill, so what I do is just add it at the end for ambiance. I like dill personally, so I will eventually end up adding some to mine. And like I said, you can do this with pita chips. You can do it with naan bread. You can make your own homemade potato chips. I opted to go with this because I wanted to get a really good, healthy portion like that. And bon appetit. Oh my God. It is heaven in my mouth right now. The salmon is, I couldn't have prepared it better if I tried. Cooked just the right amount of time. This is really good. And then we've got the capers, the red onions, and then that smoke that was added to it. Okay, okay. Just a little bit more. Mm, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And listen, this is a great holiday treat. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up. You can make this for both occasions, and your friends and family will not be disappointed. Absolutely wonderful, amazing. And we kept it simple, keeping it super simple. Let's recap, shall we? We took our salmon loin, seasoned it. Now, depending on how many guests you have, will dictate how much salmon you're going to need. Now, this is an appetizer. This is not a meal. This is something to tantalize their palate as they wait for dinner. So this was, I didn't even add the entire salmon to this mix, but I eventually will, of course. This this will eventually be my snack for the week. Um, so you take your salmon, you will take your shrimp, and you don't have to add shrimp. I know that some people are allergic to shellfish. So if you are concerned about the allergies, you'll go ahead and omit that. I wanted to add the shrimp to it just to give it a little extra zhuzh. So you'll take your salmon and your shrimp and you'll season them both with the same seasoning. I went with a Cajun seasoning along with the Love My Everything Feisty, which is smoky heat flavor to it. We went ahead and seasoned those. We allowed those to rest about 30 minutes prior to adding them to the stove top griddle. We allowed those to cook. While they were cooking, keep in mind your shrimp won't need to cook the entire amount of time that your salmon did. So you can either wait until your salmon is halfway finished and then add your shrimp, or you can allow your salmon to cook all the way through and then add the shrimp on later. However you choose to do it, I went ahead and started them at the same time. That way it allowed the shrimp to cool while the salmon was finished cooking. And then we took that salmon off. When we added the smoke to it, we were giving the salmon an opportunity to cool, along with incorporating that smoky flavor to it. Um, and then we went ahead and added to the mixture. Now with the mixture, we added an 8 ounce block of cream cheese. We added a half a cup of sour cream, quarter cup of mayo, a half of lemon squeeze. Make sure you don't get those seeds in there. And we added two of the chipotle peppers to the mix with that adobo sauce. And then once that was blended up all nice and neat, we folded the capers into it, along with we folded the diced onions into it, and then we garnished it with the dill. And then whatever chips you want to have with it. Now let me tell you something. We're talking about having this as an appetizer for your guests during the holidays. But if you are one of those people and you've got some left over and you wake up the next morning and you are super hungry and you're like, oh, I got that smoked salmon dip, and you got yourself some bagels, especially an everything bagel. You toast that bagel, you smear this goodness on it. Oh, and you can even add some avocado to it, and then you got yourself an amazing breakfast sandwich. So there's so many things that you can do with this, all while keeping it super simple. That's it for me on this Sunday evening. I hope you enjoyed what I shared with you. This was a smoked salmon and shrimp dip that you can have during the holiday season with your family, friends, or if you're having one of those nights and you just want to have it for yourself, like me, like I'm going to do tonight, you can do that too. So, on that note, you know what it is and you know what I do. If you haven't heard it from anyone else today, know that me, the one and only Chef Ventura. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I thank you for all of your love and support. Bye for now. Bye.